Okay, listen up because this is wild. Hollywood, it doesn't care who you used to be. It doesn't care about crowns or castles. It only cares about now. And Meghan and Harry, oh honey, they just got a rude awakening, a big one. You remember when they dropped the royal bombshell, left the monarchy behind, and made headlines across the globe? Oh yeah. They were the IT couple. And Netflix? Netflix rolled out the red carpet like it was the Oscars. Multi-million-dollar deals, creative control, dream team crews, everything you could ever want. The fairy tale seemed real, but now Netflix slammed the door, not gently, not with a thank you for your time. Nope, it was a cold, sharp no. No more time, no more money, no more sympathy. It's like, sorry, your royal pass doesn't pay the bills. And the worst part, they weren't even delivering. People expected fireworks, documentaries that would shake the world, podcasts that would explode on charts, content that had people glued to their screens, but instead, we got fluff. Glossy, boring, safe little projects that barely made a ripple. Stuff that felt like it was more about image than impact. Netflix waited. They were patient. But patience doesn't last forever, especially when the views just aren't there. Then, get this. Months later, Meghan and Harry go back to Netflix, begging for more time, like literally hoping the streaming giant would just give them an extension. Out of pity? As if Hollywood plays by royal rules. No, sweetie. This isn't the palace, this is LA. And in LA, no one claps for potential. They clap for performance. Behind the scenes, Netflix executives, done. So done. The excuses, the reshoots, the delays, it all piled up. One exec even reportedly said, "This is business. We're not here to fix anyone's brand." Ouch. And just like that, the door didn't just close, it slammed in their faces. You want to talk about missed chances? Meghan and Harry had the golden opportunity of a lifetime, and they blew it, big time. Netflix isn't your local indie studio. It's Netflix, the platform that can make or break you overnight. But instead of using that platform to really shake things up, they played it safe, played it polished, played it like they still thought their royal backstory was enough to carry everything. Spoiler, it wasn't. Because here's the truth, titles don't write scripts, titles don't make you relevant. And Netflix, it doesn't care if you're a duke or a duchess. It wants clicks, buzz, substance. So now, the Sussexes are pitching ideas anywhere they can. Tiny production houses, lower-tier platforms, even the ones they once would have laughed at are getting cold calls now. It's desperation mode. And it's not pretty. Meghan, she's even thinking about acting again. Yep, the same Meghan who said she was done with acting after Suits. Suddenly, small roles are fine. Cameos? Sure. Anything to get a little red carpet buzz going again. And Harry? Oh, poor Harry. He's stuck in a fog. Not a producer, not a director, not a writer. He's just floating. A prince without a palace. A public figure with no lane. And that memoir? It sold. Yeah, but it didn't stick. It didn't build anything lasting. Now, they're not plotting a comeback. They're just trying to survive. It's heartbreaking. They walked into Hollywood like a whirlwind. Red carpet darlings, press couldn't get enough. But the buzz? It's gone. And when buzz dies in this town, it dies fast. Calls slow down. Meetings get rescheduled. No one's pretending to be excited anymore. That's where Meghan and Harry are now. And the silence? It's deafening. The sparkle of their royal meets Hollywood brand has faded. That whole "we're different" edge they brought, now it feels like a gimmick. And when that novelty fades, you better have something real to show. They didn't. No big series, no flagship hit, just polished, forgettable content. And producers? Oh, they're talking. Whispering that the couple overplayed their hand, that they thought the industry would bend to them, but that's not how it works. Hollywood rewards risk, authenticity, and ironically, the couple who screamed about wanting to be heard suddenly forgot how to speak plainly. Now, the panic is palpable. Their team is rushing, meetings flying, ideas getting greenlit out of panic, not planning, and the industry sees right through it. Meghan's now eyeing reality TV, brand collabs, skincare lines, wellness blogs, even another podcast, anything to get headlines again. But here's the problem. The influencer world, it's crowded. And Meghan, she doesn't feel fresh anymore. She feels late to the party. And Harry? Still lost. His name opens doors, but once he's in the room, no one knows what to do with him. He's not a host, not an actor, not a content creator. He's just that guy. The guy with a memoir and a camera crew. And that's not enough anymore. Plus, let's be real. There's baggage. The lawsuits, the press drama, the polarization. Platforms are cautious. They've seen the Spotify situation. That wasn't just a breakup. That was a warning sign. There's talk that Meghan and Harry want to create their own platform, full control, their own media empire, but with with what money, and who's still tuning in? They came in like a storm, but storms fade, and now they're trying to rebuild in a world that's already moved on. The worst part, they could have had it all, but they didn't deliver, didn't evolve. And now the narrative they built, the misunderstood royals, the fresh voices, it's old news. Insiders say Meghan still clings to the dream of one big project, a docuseries, a game changer. She's pitching to smaller networks, even overseas, but the interest? It's lukewarm. People see her as a calculated risk, not a sure thing. And Harry? He's drifting. His team's pushing activism stories. But the delivery? Shaky, forced. The camera doesn't buy it. There's even quiet tension between them. It's not screaming matches, it's missed events. Different messaging, two people on different tracks. Look, people wanted to root for them. We all did. But sympathy has a shelf life. You can't just coast on being misunderstood forever. Now they're surrounded by yes men, people trying to spin the next chapter. But real success? That doesn't come from echo chambers. It comes from real work. And they haven't done it. Not yet. One former producer summed it up perfectly. They had the world's attention, and they fumbled it. That quote, it's everywhere now, not said with hate, just honesty. The media, not buying the spin anymore. Headlines have cooled. No more dramatic exclusives, just silence. And silence in Hollywood? That's death. They're not hated. They're just irrelevant. And that's worse because hate means people care. Indifference, that means the story's over. So now the question is, can they come back? Not just land a deal, but make it matter. Get people to care again. Because walking away from the crown, that was bold. But building something lasting, that takes work. Real work. And right now, the lights have moved on, and the silence, it's louder than anything they've ever said. And here's what stings the most. They walked away from royalty with the world watching. People were curious, excited, hopeful. What would they build? What legacy would they leave outside the crown? But legacies aren't built on buzz. They're built on boldness, consistency, and truth. And so far, Meghan and Harry haven't shown they can deliver that. Now, they're at a crossroads. Reinvention is still possible, but not if it's fueled by panic. Not if it's just a scramble to stay in headlines. They need clarity, direction, grit. Because Hollywood, it's not going to wait around. It never has. The question now isn't just if they can make a comeback, but whether they've learned enough to make it count. Because second chances, they're rare. And if they fumble again, the industry won't be watching this time. It'll already be looking for the next big thing. And Meghan and Harry, they'll be just a footnote in someone else's origin story. And here's the brutal reality. Hollywood doesn't send out formal breakup notices. One day you're the headline, the next you're the cautionary tale whispered behind closed doors. No press release, no farewell tour, just silence. The glitz, the fame, the flashbulbs, they fade. But what remains? The work, the impact. And Meghan and Harry, for all their global attention, still haven't left a lasting mark in this industry. They thought leaving the monarchy was the hardest part. But this fight for relevance, for identity, for purpose in a place that demands constant reinvention, it's tougher, colder, and far less forgiving. If they want to rise again, it can't be about proving critics wrong. It has to be about finally figuring out what they stand for, what they actually want to say, without hiding behind titles, teams, or tabloid feuds. There's still time, but not much. And the spotlight? It's already drifting. If they're not careful, it won't be a comeback we'll be watching for. It'll be the credits rolling on what could have been the biggest post-royal success story ever. Only now, it's just a story of missed chances, and Hollywood never looks back. And let's not forget, this all started with a dream. Meghan and Harry didn't just leave a palace, they left an entire institution. They walked away from centuries of legacy to start fresh, to take control of their lives, their message, their future. It was brave, it was bold, and for a while, it looked like they might actually pull it off. But dreams, especially in Hollywood, don't run on hope alone. They run on hustle, strategy, relentless execution, and somewhere along the way, that got lost. People wanted them to win, not just as public figures, but as human beings, as underdogs rewriting their story. But the more curated and disconnected their content felt, the harder it became to root for them. The authenticity vanished. The vulnerability that once made them so compelling, replaced by PR polish and perfectly staged moments. And now, it's not about one deal or one show, it's about reputation, legacy, and whether they can still be taken seriously in a space that demands evolution, not repetition. Because once the industry decides you're no longer relevant, the damage is quiet but permanent. And the Sussexes, once the toast of Tinseltown, are now staring at the industry through a cracked window, watching the lights go out one by one. Maybe there's still one last act. Maybe they'll find that spark again, something raw, unfiltered, real. But it won't be handed to them. They'll have to earn it, and this time, no one's waiting. No one's waiting.